Yo guys, welcome back to my first league racing video on F125. I'm sorry it's taken like a month and a half. I've just been incredibly lazy. That is it. But we're here. This was my first league race on F125. We have done a lot since then, but this is FRLT Assists, round number 1. We did the qualifiers like a week before this, and UFRT, we managed to qualify, myself and Josh, we managed to qualify 3rd overall out of all the teams participating, which on the face of it looks good, but by our standards we did mess up our laps a lot. It could have easily been P1, but anyway, it doesn't matter. If you qualify P1 or P9, you still race in this same race. So this is the season, and this is my final qualifying lap at Monza, and this is a track I've come to enjoy over the last year or two. It hasn't been one of my, well, it wasn't one of my best tracks, but on this game especially, it is one of my better tracks. And you can see we're already in the green. This is our quali lap, going up into the fucking whatever the, I don't know. Doesn't. I was just trying to read the corner. Got no idea what it says. But into Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 now. I do know these ones, guys. It's all right. The other one, we'll figure it out at some point, I'm sure. Anyway, we are about a 10th up on the Delta. We have dropped down to P11 now, which isn't ideal, but there is a lot of time in these next few corners. So we brake as late as we can. We chuck it in, and it
no way that was an invalidation. Fuck.
And I was really sure that was not an invalidation.
No,
I was so confident at the time that I'd managed to keep that on just about. But unfortunately, that means we don't improve, and we end up finishing in P11. And we're going to look at the Delta now. We are about, to be fair, we're only about 2/10 off of P10 or P9. Yeah. I know the face cam's in the way, but I believe I was on a 0.5. And even if I gained the 2/10, I would have only gained 1 or 2 positions. So it's not like we missed out on that much. This is a very overtaking heavy track. We're starting on the hard compounded tyres. We are not doing a 2-stop. And we are here. It is 5 red lights for the first time on F125. And it's lights out, and away we go. We get a very solid start. We already look like we're getting a jump ahead. We have to back off a little bit. We're actually too quick. Code in the McLarens had a bit of a slow start, but we're on the inside covering off from behind. We're just really trying not to get damaged. We're 3 wide at the minute. Make a bit of contact ahead. We're trying to leave as much space on the inside as we can. But we managed to carry the speed, and then the Sauber of Beast up ahead, he goes off, and now we move up again. We're already up at 2 positions into P9. And that is an incredible start. I couldn't have really asked for much more, considering my starts have been very inconsistent on this game. That has been something I found in practice, is that they are not consistent at all. It is still something I actually have to work on in all the league races I've done since this race. And right now, up ahead, the Haas goes off a little bit. We look to the inside, but it's just not a smart place to go for a move. So we actually decide to sit behind and play the long game. We've already made up 2 positions. We're comfortably in the points now. And we don't really have to go for any stupid moves. And the amount of tyre saving you have to do on this game, stupid moves are not... You can't afford to make stupid moves. But we're actually driving pretty stupidly right now. We've went off twice. And luckily we only managed to pick up 1 warning from that. But it's not a confidence booster for me right now. And I remember thinking, that's not very good. That's going to give Beast behind me all the confidence he needs to try and go for a move eventually. Because he is quicker than me. No doubt about it, he is. He's just obviously had that off at turn 2 and wasn't able to get through. But right now, burning all the battery, and we're actually going to make a move on the VMV driver. Going to try and hang around the outside. We could have broke a bit later, but we do actually manage to hang it round. But we have to tighten up on the exit. And we're still side by side. My teammate is actually spun round behind, which isn't ideal for him, or he's got damage. I'm not too sure. But either way, we're still going side by side, and we've burned all the battery at this point. But the VMV driver does manage, or does back out, actually doesn't manage to do anything. But we have a bit of a scruffy next few chicanes, but we do manage to hold it off. It's not an overtaking opportunity. And up ahead, Edwards had an off now. He's been really slow. He's been overtaken. And now we're thinking, do we try and get past him? You know, is he going to hold us up? He's just had an off, and he's probably not going to be as confident. But actually, for the next few laps, nothing happens. You know, we've just jumped from ahead about 4 laps there, and the train has stayed in the exact same order everywhere. Maybe Bran in P10 has moved up 1 or 2, but he's not with us right now. Like, he is with us, but, you know, he's not a threat to our race. But up ahead, Edwards looking a bit scruffy. But behind us now, Beast is here. We are trying to defend a little bit. I don't want to let him go, but then I think why wouldn't I let him go? He has been much quicker than me. He's been putting me under a lot of unnecessary pressure from behind. And there really isn't any point in me keeping him behind, or even there wasn't any point for as long as I did. Because he could have been doing what he's looking like he's doing now and already making moves. He's looking confident. And we're defending from Bran behind as Beast ends up going around the outside, already making a move after we let him go. But we do nearly run into the back of him there. There's a bit of a concertina in the train. But
oh god, man, are you being serious?
And our teammate Bad Boy unfortunately actually spins. That is when he spun. And right now Bran's actually on us. We're already getting overtaken and we lose another position. We just let him go again for similar reasons to Beast. He had a poor qualifying, but he is very quick. And up ahead, Edward and Beast are going side by side. It's very, very aggressive between the two of them. Beast ends up making the move. And we are back down to P10, at least for the time being. I believe someone's already pit at this point, because we're already around the boxing stage for the medium runners, but we are on the hards. We are going to extend as long as we can and then move to the mediums and make all the moves in the final stint. That's the fun way to play the game, and that is the way I'm going to play the game, at least for this race. Up ahead, Edward goes very wide in Parabolica. That gives Bran an opportunity to go for a move. We try and get some slipstream, and people are starting to box. As I said, this is where the medium runners will box, and they already have. I think 3 of them have boxed at this point. They're going for a hefty little undercut, and that is probably going to be an interesting strategy. At the time, I wasn't thinking too much about it because everyone in my section of the race wasn't on the mediums, so I didn't think about it too much now. But now Edward's going pretty slow. We don't want to lose the train up ahead, so we use the ERS, get around him, and he lets us go so we can move back over to the racing line. And we are up into P6 now on track, maybe about P9 in the overall race once we all get the pit stop sorted out, once more people box. We'll be around the P9 point, which, you know, it's not great, but it isn't that bad, especially for my first league race. It's not been going too bad. There's still a long way to go in this race, and I don't doubt that we'll be able to make something happen. And we are cutting ahead to lap 15 actually. 2 more people box. We're in P4 now, so all the medium runners, they're long gone. They've already boxed. And the 2 cars ahead, they are also boxing, which means we are going to be P2 on track. But we're playing the really long game here with a strategy, because we want to box. I'm not sure if it's going to be the end of 16 or end of 17. I think if I went end of 17, it would be a bit too long. But right now, I'm just thinking, let's just keep going. You know, I'm going to let all these people box, and we're just going to have the pace at the end. We're going to just blitz the field, and happy days, we win the race. But we actually boxed end of lap 16, as I expected. I raced this. I would have expected me to box on this lap as well. But putting on the medium compounder tyres, someone in the train has a 10-second penalty, but just look at the minimap there. Look how many cars are overtaking us just because we stayed out late and they've undercut us. We're now down in P15, which that was a bit concerning to see when I came out the pits. I knew I'd be pretty far down, but P16 or P15 is just so much further down than I thought I'd be. There's these guys ahead of us, the VMV driver and Emmanuel Tawaya. They aren't in my race. I didn't know they were racing, and they're right ahead of us. And now we've caught up to a train of 3, and this could make or break my race. It can only be a bad thing to me, but if I don't make the moves and overtake as I need to, this will be horrible for us. We're going to let the guys ahead fight. We're going to put it in none. We're not going to try and go for a move. You can see we didn't burn any battery, but this is the time loss I was worried about. They're going side by side, and we're just not quite there. But right now, we've just got to go for it. We're going to burn all the ERS. We're going to move to the outside of the Williams. We've got so much more ERS than the VMV driver in the Haas as well. And we're going to brake later because we've got the extra grip. And we actually make 2 positions in one straight. And I was very happy with that. That is exactly what I needed to happen with this train. We actually dip our tyres in the grass. I've got too much grip. I don't know what to say. I'm just making mistakes because the tyres are too grippy. I'm not used to it. But that was perfect. What we just did, absolutely perfect. And now on the end of the lap, we're right behind Emmanuel, and he's just having issues. He's on old, like 8-lap old hards. We're on 1-lap old mediums. We're just going to absolutely breeze by. And then we're going to actually get to where the race is. This is where we need to get stuck in and start putting in the times to bring down the times to the drivers ahead of us. We brake and we actually lock up a little bit into turn 1, but that is not a problem. That is the move made, and now up ahead, 1.9 seconds up the road, is the McLaren on the hard compounds. Again, he boxed ages ago, and we've just been gaining so much time. Like, all these cuts have just been on the same lap. We've gained about 3/10 in the last corner alone, and now it looks like these guys are going to be side by side into Ascari. I blank, you know. It is what it is. We're just going to leave it in. I'm not going to cut it up. I can't be asked. But Ascari is the name of that corner, so, you know, the more you know. I've figured it out. And into Parabolic now. See, we know this one. But we've just gained on code a lot. So now, up ahead actually, Cuba Wozniak's going to box. And I think he's actually going to retire. I'm not too sure why, as he was still running in the points. Or maybe he hadn't boxed yet. I'm actually not sure. But right now, we're going to go for a move on code. He brakes really early, and it's lucky we weren't still sitting behind him at all, because he was definitely letting us go there. And that could have been pretty bad, so I appreciate him for that. But, you know, if I was just still behind him, even slightly, my wing's gone, you know. But it wasn't, so, you know, I'm complaining about hypothetical situations. It didn't happen. He gave me the position, thank you. But right now, Edward makes a mistake, and we're on the back of him. And he just lets us go here. And I'm hesitant to go past, but, you know, we are just going to do it, else we'll lose too much time to the guys ahead. But I was hesitant because once we are on the main straight, he's going to get DRS again. And obviously, the main straight is so long, it's so DRS dependent. If you don't have it and you're in front and the car behind's close enough, it's going to be an issue. But actually, we ended up dropping him, and now we've cut ahead to lap 25 out of 27. And this is where the race gets interesting for us. We're already in P7. This has already been a really good race for us. We've managed to dispatch the cars we needed to well, and now we're making the overcut work, because we're now gaining a lot on Bran. And he's on, I think, a lap older tyres. Yeah, he was the one that boxed on lap 15. And we're just gaining time. You know, the 1 lap difference, we need to make it count as soon as possible, or we're going to start having the pace that he's got at the minute. But we've gained about nearly a full second in the last few corners. It's been really, really, like, good driving. And we're just not going to make a move into Ascari just yet. He is going to put on the battery, but this, as I said, is where the race is going to start. But you might think, is the race actually going to start? Because there's only Bran ahead of you. Because, you know, Yanni's 4 seconds up the road. But he's actually in his own fight, and they're going to come back to us. You know, that's something spicy for later. But right now, we're on the back of Bran. We have nearly a full tank of battery. And before the DRS detection zone even shows up, we've managed to burn past him. And we don't want to burn all our ERS, because we don't want to have him come back at us. And we want to be able to use it if we have to. And up ahead, you can see the cars, Yanni and Beast, just falling back. They're getting closer to us. And you can still see they're actually side by side, losing so much time. And I believe they're just having a bit of an ego battle. They don't want to let each other go. They've had a collision earlier in the race, and they're just not letting it go. But they're still side by side, and this is just so good for us. Look at this time gain. We're already here, and we're already into DRS. And 3 corners ago, they were 4 seconds up the road. They have absolutely killed their easy 4 and 5 just to have some petty little scraps on the second last lap of the race, and that just gives us an opportunity to get back. I mean, me an opportunity to get back in, because actually Bran has disconnected from behind us, which is amazing for me as well, because we can attack these guys and not have to worry about a guy behind trying to disrupt us. So this is it. Final corner before the final lap of my first league race on F1 25. This is a battle for P4 after qualifying P11. This has been a really good race for us so far. Will it get any better? This is the final push. We're going to burn some of our ERS, but we're not going to go full send. The DRS is open. Beast is trying to break the DRS. Yanni's following. He's really trying to go for this, so we're just going to let them go at it. Going to try and get a switch back out of turn 2. Yanni goes around the outside. They don't actually stay side by side, unfortunately, but they are back side by side. Beast gets a bit of a switch back there, and we're still not trying to burn all of it, but we're just trying to be there. We're trying to pick up the pieces. They've clearly got more battery at the minute. We're trying to save it for later, and they're still side by side going up into turn 4. He actually lets it go now. Yanni goes off the track. It's so slow. This is a chance for us. We're going to move to the inside. We're going to get past Yanni. We're going to stay side by side. We actually run a little bit deep. We have a lot of understeer. We're still side by side going into Lesmo 2. This is such a dangerous place to go side by side. He nearly puts us in the wall. He ends up having a bit of rear wheel spin. Nearly puts us in the wall. We're burning all our battery. He's squeezing us to the outside. We're burning more battery again and again. But he stays at the inside. We leave too much space. And we actually go off the track. We nearly spin. Nearly hitting into the back of him. But now we still have another chance. One final corner. But we've burned all our ERS too soon. You can just see we're stopped. We're not gaining as much as we can. We're on the less favourable line. He makes contact with us, forces wise. And that is probably going to be it. But wait, there's still a run to the line. It's going to be close, but we just don't have the ERS to make the move, and that is P5 after an incredibly intense final 2 laps. And that was so close. You can hear me complaining, but it was just rough battling. I ended up leaving him too much space into Ascari, and I let myself run off the track.
No way.
That should have been my P4.
I got a punch on the fucking left.
And actually, that boy, my teammate, gets a puncture on the final lap, and he DNFs into the final corner.
Wow.
It's just a really positive end to the race. He was unfortunately at the back, so it sucks for him. But that was just a really fun race. P11 to P5. It's a great start to the F125 game. I'm having such a good time. I've had a lot of league races since then in the final few weeks, and I think in a few days I'm going to upload my PSGL round 2, which I actually just raced about an hour ago. But unfortunately in round 1 we disconnected. But that's something I can tell about for that video. That's another time. Right now, P5 for FRLT in our debut in F125, and yeah, if you enjoyed the game, if you enjoyed the race, enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more league racing content. I will try and give it to you. I'm passionate about it now. Can't promise anything though, so don't hold out hope. But yeah, see ya.